Discoveries beneath Bethlehem have stunned experts around the world. Recent subterranean scans and excavations reveal vast voids and strange structures hiding under one of the most ancient cities in Judea. These finds hint at a buried monument, an unknown settlement phase, or a lost chapter of history waiting to be unlocked. If true, what lies beneath could reshape our understanding of ancient civilization, and the world is watching. The hidden city below the surface. The quiet town of Bethlehem lies just south of Jerusalem, gently unfolding among limestone hills, olive groves, and narrow lanes. It is world famous as the birthplace of Jesus of Nazareth, where pilgrims from across the world come to visit the humble grotto and the historic church. For centuries, the town has been viewed mostly through its sacred associations and its modern life. Yet the earliest written records of Bethlehem suggest a far older beginning. The ancient Amarna letters hint at a Canaanite presence in the region. Excavations and surveys around Bethlehem have revealed burial grounds and settlements dating back thousands of years, long before the birthplace of Christ. For example, a massive necropolis near Bethlehem has been shown to contain tombs used from as early as 2200 BCE through roughly 650 BCE. This tells that Bethlehem was more than a sleepy town. It stood upon layers of human lives, transformations, and forgotten chapters. As our tools improve, the underground world beneath Bethlehem is coming into sharper focus. Modern techniques such as remote sensing, ground-penetrating radar, geophysical surveys, and careful excavation allow archaeologists to see beneath the streets without destroying them. In Bethlehem, nearby necropolises are being mapped, artifacts are being recorded, and subterranean features are being identified. These methods reveal hidden chambers, rock-cut stables, and shafts, places where people lived, died, and worked underground. The uncovering of a rock-hewn subterranean stable near Bethlehem, for example, shows how the ancient town and its surroundings used the bedrock itself for practical spaces beneath the ground. So here we stand at the threshold of a hidden city beneath the surface of Bethlehem. A city whose walls and living spaces, whose livelihoods and departures lie not just in the visible ruins above, but in the shadows and voids beneath our feet. What do these subterranean levels tell us about who lived here, how they lived, and how they shaped the town that later became known for so many things? The most thrilling part is this. What the scientists have already uncovered may just be the beginning of something far bigger, something that could rewrite what we thought we knew about Bethlehem's past. So, what did the researchers find beneath Bethlehem's surface that is so unexpected and so profound that it forces us to rethink the very story of the city? Stay with us as the layers below reveal their secrets. Unearthing the first proof. In the spring of 2012, archaeologists working in the shadow of ancient Jerusalem made a discovery that sent ripples through the world of biblical history. While sifting through soil from the excavations at City of David, just outside Jerusalem's old city walls, a tiny clay seal emerged. This was a bula, a hard-fired lump of clay used to seal documents or containers. Engraved in ancient Hebrew script were the words Bethlehem, in Hebrew El-Bai-E-Elohim, placing the name of this village firmly in the archaeological record of the ancient kingdom of Judah. The seal itself is small, about 1.5 centimeters across, but its significance is anything but small. This is the first time that the name Bethlehem has appeared in an inscription dating to the First Temple period, roughly the 8th-7th centuries BCE. Prior to this find, Bethlehem's existence in that era rested almost entirely on the biblical text. Now there was material proof. So what exactly does this little seal tell us, and why did it change how scholars view Bethlehem? First, its discovery confirms that Bethlehem was not just a poetic or legendary place in biblical memory, but a real settlement engaged in administrative life. Research suggests that the bulla was part of a fiscal system. It was used to seal something dispatched from Bethlehem to the king in Jerusalem, perhaps agricultural produce or silver paid as tax. The inscription includes the phrase, "in the 7th year," and then Bethlehem, followed by what may have been the end of king, indicating that during the 7th year of a king's reign, items were sent from Bethlehem to the royal court. The context of how it was discovered adds to its power. The soil being sifted had been removed from excavations at the city of David, where teams of the Israel Antiquities Authority and others were carefully recovering ancient material. Amid debris and dust from earlier layers, the tiny bulla lay hidden until someone recognized its script. What this finds changes is profound. For so long, Bethlehem has held a special place in religious tradition as the birthplace of Jesus of Nazareth and as the home of King David in earlier biblical narratives. Yet archaeological confirmation of its existence in the First Temple era had been elusive. With this seal, we move from belief into the realm of tangible evidence. Bethlehem now appears in the historical record of the Kingdom of Judah in a concrete way. This revelation opens new doors. If Bethlehem was sending goods to Jerusalem at the time of the kings, then we must reconsider its size, its economy, and its role in the region. It was not simply a quiet hill village. It was connected to royal networks. And of course, if one small clay seal can tell us so much, the question emerges: what else lies buried beneath the soil of this ancient land, waiting to rewrite even more of what we think we know about the world of the Bible? On the underground labyrinth. Under the surface of Bethlehem lies a hidden world of rock-cut chambers, natural caves, and ancient quarrying that few travelers ever glimpse. The limestone hills around the town include terraced slopes where generations worked the land. Some of those slopes conceal cavities worn by time and human hands. Archaeologists now believe that beneath the modern streets and buildings of Bethlehem, there is a network of subterranean features waiting to be revealed. Recent surveys point to voids, aligned passages, and rock chambers carved into the bedrock that hint at something far more complex than previously imagined. For many years, excavation in Bethlehem itself has been minimal. The overlay of the modern city, the densely built-up area, and the need to preserve living memory above ground have limited the scope of digging. As a result, most of what we know about the underground in this region comes from surveys rather than full open trenches. A careful rescue excavation project revealed 4 necropolises on the terraced slopes of Bethlehem's limestone hill, dating from the early Bronze Age through to the Iron Age. While these finds lie above the deeper hidden structures, they hint at a long record of human occupation and the possibility of even more beneath. Today, new technologies are changing the game. Ground-penetrating radar and other geophysical imaging tools give archaeologists the ability to peer through the earth without the need for massive excavation. 3-dimensional subsurface mapping allows teams to model what lies beneath the surface. These technologies are particularly valuable in places like Bethlehem, where traditional digging is restricted by modern life. They allow experts to locate anomalies, voids, irregular rock shapes, alignments that do not match natural caves, and to plan targeted exploration. The result is a tantalizing glimpse of an underground labyrinth that has been largely hidden until now. In recent surveys around Bethlehem, the first clues have started to emerge. Some zones show voids and flattened floors that suggest human-carved chambers. Others reveal alignments of rock-cut rooms whose walls cut across the bedrock in straight lines rather than following natural fractures. In one spot, an area of subsidence and collapsed ground flagged the presence of a buried room. In another, geophysical scans showed a hidden cavity beneath a modern building. These findings raise the possibility that beneath the living town there is a hidden network of subterranean spaces, perhaps used for storage, animal shelters, quarrying, or even ritual purpose chambers. And then the moment came when the team entered one of those voids. As they stepped off the ladder into the darkness, their torches picked out carved walls, niches for lamps, and deep troughs cut into the rock. The space lay silent, untouched for centuries, and yet the signs of human hands were unmistakable. What they found inside stopped them in their tracks and raised a question nobody expected. What lay further in beyond that chamber? And what purpose did the entire complex serve? Artifacts in the dark. In dark underground chambers, among the soil and stone of millennia-old layers, archaeologists uncovered pottery shards, worn coins, fragments of daily objects, and mysterious ritual items. These artifacts provide a window into the rhythms of life in ancient Bethlehem in ages long before the present day. Many of the pottery shards reflect ordinary life: broken bowls, jars with chipped rims, and fragments of cooking pots. They hint at the meals people prepared, the oil they poured, the grain they stored. Some pieces date to the Iron Age, others to the Roman or Byzantine eras. Each chip of clay speaks of hands shaping it, a family storing food, a merchant trading goods, children perhaps playing with broken fragments. Coins and other metal objects add a new dimension. The presence of coins shows economic networks, trade routes, marketplaces where people came and exchanged value. Some items reveal that Bethlehem was not isolated. Trade links extended outward. People brought in goods and took items away. The finds under the surface suggest layers of occupation over long centuries. One excavation near Bethlehem revealed a massive Canaanite burial ground dating to around 4,200 years ago. Within it, jars, lamps, scarab amulets, and bronze daggers were found, pointing to a society engaged in trade and status markers far earlier than previously assumed. What does all of this tell us? First, Bethlehem emerges not only as the birthplace of one religious figure or another, but as a settlement with deep roots, long-standing habitation, structural complexity, and social layering. A place where everyday life, ritual acts, commerce, and politics intersected. The objects reinforce that Bethlehem had a role in broader regional economies, that its people practiced cultural customs similar to their neighbors, and that the town held significance beyond what tradition alone has preserved. A subtle twist in the story is that some underground objects hint at unexpected connections. For example, the ritual items and luxury bowls in the Canaanite necropolis suggest that the community here once had access to major trade routes and possibly supplied or retrieved goods to other major hubs. There is the possibility that Bethlehem or its environs served roles in quarrying, shipping, craftsmanship, even ritual services for larger centers such as Jerusalem. If true, the hidden artifacts pull Bethlehem into a larger world of ancient infrastructure and regional interaction. Then there are some shocking details unlike any other, which does not neatly fit catalog or expectation. It now studied under lights. Puzzled scholars who expected typical shards, coins, beads, and spoons, yet found something rare and unfamiliar. Rewriting the nativity landscape. Traditional accounts place Jesus' birth in a stable because there was no room for his family in the inn. But what the underground maps and cave rooms reveal shows that maybe the stable was less exotic than we imagine. Surveys beneath the basilica known as Church of the Nativity identify rock-cut rooms and caves that once served as living spaces and animal shelters. In this hillside village, the separation between human quarters and animal quarters was often subtle bedrooms opened into caves. A feeding trough might sit just a step away. In this setting, the humble circumstances of Jesus' birth become not just symbolic, but tangible. Archaeological evidence also invites us to look again at the size and role of Bethlehem in that era. Far from the bustling town, some traditions imply. The findings suggest a modest agricultural settlement. Pottery, oil lamps, and other everyday items point to a small community living off the land, tending flocks, and using caves both for shelter and for the animals they cared for. At the same time, there is a curious absence of grand Herodian remains within the town itself, which calls into question any assumption that Bethlehem of that period was a major urban center. When we compare the traditional narrative with what the earth itself reveals, we see a striking alignment in some respects and surprising gaps in others. The tradition of birth in a manger among animals finds real archaeological echo in caves with tethering holes and feeding troughs found under the church. The idea of Bethlehem as a small village upland fits the modest footprint of the material remains. But the grander elements of storytelling, such as large crowds, royal welcome, or lavish homes in Bethlehem, appear far less supported by the physical record. What this means is that the nativity landscape transforms from a lofted idea into something grounded. We can imagine Mary and Joseph arriving into a quiet hillside village, seeking space in a place where the animals were not far away, and where caves served the double duty of living room and stable. The rough rock, the carved trough, the softly worn floor speak of a lived-in world, modest and real. Yet as richly as this subterranean world illuminates the story, there still remains a mystery. If so much of Bethlehem's story lies beneath the surface, how much of it is actually visible above ground today? Secrets that refuse to surface. Archaeologists believe that beneath the streets of Bethlehem lies a hidden world that refuses to fully reveal itself. Over centuries, layers of history have stacked above and around the underground network, leaving many tunnels, chambers, and passages inaccessible. Some are blocked by modern construction, others are sealed off for safety or preservation. Still, fragments of these hidden spaces hint at something far more complex than anyone imagined. Scientists and archaeologists have mapped parts of the network, but there are vast areas that remain unexplored, their secrets locked away in darkness. The mysteries that persist are not just about what lies beneath the surface, but how it connects to the history of the city above. There are walls aligned in ways that make no sense, large voids that defy explanation, and artifacts that seem completely out of place. Some objects do not match any known style or era. Certain chambers appear far older or more advanced than their surroundings. Every discovery raises more questions than it answers. Why were these spaces built? Who used them and for what purpose? Some features seem deliberately hidden, as if the builders intended them to be forgotten. Scientists are forced to consider extraordinary possibilities. Could a massive forgotten monument be buried somewhere below the city? Might there be evidence of a previously unknown phase of settlement? Perhaps dating to a pre-Iron Age civilization or a post-Byzantine occupation. Each unexplored chamber, each blocked passage is a potential key to rewriting the history of Bethlehem. The tiniest clue might reveal a culture that left no record above ground or uncover knowledge long thought lost. The excitement comes from imagining what might be waiting, silent and untouched, for thousands of years, just beneath the surface. The stakes are high. Discovering a major hidden feature would not only change how historians view Bethlehem, but it could shift our understanding of the entire region of Judea. Scholars might have to rethink timelines, religious traditions, and trade connections. Every blocked tunnel and mysterious void is a puzzle piece that could alter the story of human civilization in this part of the world. Yet much of this subterranean labyrinth remains off limits. Some areas are too dangerous to explore. Others are protected by laws meant to preserve fragile archaeological treasures. Still, rumors circulate about a chamber that might be unlike anything discovered before. The few who have glimpsed its entrance speak of strange markings and unusual energy readings. Some suggest it could lead to something world-changing. Could scientists be on the verge of unlocking a door that has been sealed for millennia? The future of exploration beneath ancient cities. The discovery beneath Bethlehem has opened a new chapter in how we view the hidden histories of our cities. It reminds us that beneath the streets we walk every day, there may be entire worlds waiting to be uncovered, worlds that can completely change how we understand our past. What scientists have found under Bethlehem is not just a local revelation, it's a glimpse into what might be hidden beneath many ancient cities across the globe. From Jerusalem to Athens, Cairo to Rome, countless layers of forgotten civilizations lie buried under modern life, quietly preserving stories of the people who once lived there. This discovery encourages archaeologists to look beyond traditional digging. In the past, uncovering ancient remains required large-scale excavations that often damaged sites or disrupted local life. But today, technology is changing everything. New tools like ground-penetrating radar, magnetometers, and 3D laser scanning allow scientists to see beneath the surface without breaking the ground. LiDAR technology, which uses laser light to map landscapes from the air, has already uncovered lost cities beneath dense jungles in Cambodia and Guatemala. Similar tools could reveal buried temples, homes, and passageways under ancient cities that still thrive today. Artificial intelligence is also playing a growing role in archaeology. By analyzing massive amounts of data, from satellite images to soil composition, AI can help experts identify promising dig sites with greater accuracy than ever before. Combined with drones, virtual simulations, and 3D modeling, these technologies are creating a future where archaeologists can virtually walk through ancient underground worlds before a single stone is touched. This not only protects what's below, but also helps in planning responsible excavations that minimize damage. However, as exciting as this future sounds, it comes with deep ethical and preservation challenges. Every ancient site carries cultural, religious, and emotional value for the people living above it. In places like Bethlehem, where faith and history intertwine, even the smallest excavation can raise sensitive questions. Who owns the past? Who decides what should be uncovered or left untouched? Scientists must work hand in hand with local communities, governments, and religious leaders to ensure discoveries are treated with respect and care. Preservation is equally critical. Once something is unearthed, it becomes vulnerable to the elements. to tourism, even to political conflicts. Protecting these findings often requires balancing curiosity with caution. The future of exploration will depend not only on technology, but also on wisdom, knowing when to dig and when to simply admire what lies hidden beneath. Ultimately, discoveries like the one beneath Bethlehem remind us of something profound. The Earth is not silent. It holds memories of civilizations long gone, waiting for those willing to listen. Every buried tunnel, hidden chamber, and forgotten ruin is a bridge connecting us to our ancestors. As science advances, so does our ability to explore these connections responsibly and respectfully. Next time you walk through Bethlehem, remember, you might be standing above a vast, ancient underground world whose story is only just being told. What are your thoughts on discoveries beneath Bethlehem? Share your thoughts in the comments.